There is some amount of centralization even in a decentralized approach like the data mesh. The data platform team now has the responsibility of creating self-service tools as part of the domain-agnostic data platform. These tools will help domain teams create and maintain their data products independently. The data platform team creates a self-provisioning unit of the platform which has the essential storage and compute technologies needed for storing and processing the data. These also come with automated policies which will ensure that the infrastructure is used as per the security guidelines of the organization. Let's take an example of this. So the self-provisioning unit will contain a policy which prevents you from making the contents of your cloud storage bucket public. What this essentially means is that it will inhibit the domain teams from accidentally or intentionally making the data visible to the internet, and thus preventing it from landing in the hands of hackers and other malicious elements. Let's talk about the last but quite important principle of federated computational governance. It's a long word. But the data mesh, what it essentially means is that the data mesh does not rely on manual checks and audits to enforce governance. Because if you had manual checks and audits, it would again slow down innovation that relies on data. Instead, the data mesh relies on technology to detect and enforce the relevant policies and thus prevent the misuse of data. It also makes sure that the data products have the necessary metadata so that they are easily discoverable. So here are some examples for you to better understand this principle. Your data platform team might create a policy which checks for personal data prior to authorizing permission for use of this data in machine learning projects. Using personal data in machine learning projects makes them subject to additional compliance requirements. And hence, it's best to use features that don't contain personal information to train machine learning models. Another example would be to enforce mandatory information to the metadata of a dataset. This helps you to better discover the dataset when it's published in the data catalog. I believe this information should help you decide if your organization is in need of a data mesh or not. If you wish to learn more, head over to the resources section to access some of my recommended resources on this topic. In the next chapter, I will briefly outline the role of a data catalog in not only improving the discoverability of data, but also in enforcing some of the automated policies we just discussed. So see you in the next chapter.